Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Pocket Change. Today, we're going to talk about what do you need to know to sell on eBay. It's not a definitive list, but it's what we found that we think that the key things you need to do to be successful. Joel, how's your day going? What happened for?
Laughing because if folks, I think this is a crazy topic for us to try to tackle. What do you need to know to sell on eBay?
Yeah, what are the
Uh,
basics? We both sell on eBay. We're not the biggest sellers. Right now, we're in transition and not transition. I'm a him, and he's a he. So not that kind of transition. But
yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that. If you're going through it, hey, you do you. But we're not.
exactly.
I'm not brave enough to do that. Here's the thing.
Think about the first guy that went in there and was like, hey, man, I got an idea. I say you split it down the middle, you shove it up
No.
inside. Now I'm a girl. Okay, I'll cut that out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That was very brave.
Anyway, extremely. Anyway, folks,
Extreme.
I don't know that what do you do to sell on eBay? First, the only thing I can tell you, the first thing is you got to find some junk around your house.
Exactly. I think that's the way to start. Honestly, don't go out and buy. Like I thought, oh, I got to have 500 items sitting here so that way I get started. And then I started my account, and after I listed 10, they put you on hold. So when you first start an account, you're only going to be able to list so many items anyway. So I think what you need to do is first set up your account. I think
They
create an
don't do that
account.
hold if you now you didn't do your personal account to start with, did you?
No, I did. I bought the store to begin with. So
If
I
you
could
do a
list 1,000 items.
if you do a personal, because I had that personal, and this is the one advantage. Now, Ben's and I've told you in previous podcasts, don't do the personal one. The hold is only what, like 24 hours or something like that, or 48 hours. I can't remember. It's some kind of hold for a few. It's not long.
It was. No, it was longer than that for me when I started my store because they wanted to see that I could sell and I was a trusted person before I could
What?
just list a
But they
thousand
didn't hold you
things.
to 10 items for ever.
It was like a week
Really?
when I started. Yeah, I
See,
paid
I didn't.
for,
I
and I
didn't
sent a
have
note.
any
I'm
of
like,
that.
hey, I paid for 1,000 items. I can only list. It might have been 20 or 30. I don't know, but they stopped me way early. I don't know what it was, but understand that you're better off to just go in there, start an account, list a few things from around your house, and see if you like it. First off, you might decide that this is not the right side hustle for me. So just list a few things and practice shipping them and that kind of thing before you go full hog.
I think there's a lot of things you should do before you go full hog.
You dirty bastard. Create your
I
account.
wouldn't even try to be dirty, folks. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and the rules may have changed a little bit. But when I started, I didn't have to have any weight. I did the personal account, which is free,
Yeah.
which is a terrible. I think it. I think that platform it's actually a separate platform from the store side because when you go for transition from there's that word again. When you go to move from the personal side to the store side, from the they call it hobby side to the professional side, and we have to use these finger quotes, folks. Cause
You're professional.
anyway, some people beg to differ whether we're
Yeah, I
professional
agree.
or
I
anything,
agree.
but it all your stuff doesn't migrate over. But you don't have the waiting time if you had a personal store, and you can't really call it a personal store. If you had personal venue thingy, whatever, you get 250 items, and all of a sudden you pay them 495. Now you're a store on the store side,
Yeah.
and I will tell you, it does not translate well, or it didn't used to. I had to take everything down and migrate it manually over. Maybe they've got that fixed now. That'd be great if they did,
But for you,
but I didn't have to.
I did do that, but compare the two. Is it much better to spend 495 than to have the free
Oh
store?
yeah, it's much better. It's much. There's so many more tools.
Yeah.
So much easier to list. You have the AI helping you list, which it helps. What I like to do is what I actually like to do is take what eBay
Yeah.
AI writes in the description. I take that, rip it out. I take it over to free chat GPT and I say, reword this to make it sound like it's actually decent. And chat GPT goes, okay. And it completely writes a whole new thing. And I then paste that back over. But it gets inspired. If you go
Yes.
over to ChatGPT with nothing to put in there, you have to inspire it on your own, which means basically you have to kind of give it some pointers of what you're wanting. If you just take what eBay AI writes, take it over and say, hey, write this so it sounds decent, then it does a marvelous job. So that's what I do.
Yes. So set
But
up your account. I think start with the 495. Even if you're just trying this, I think you get the back end. You get all the stuff, the store stuff you can send.
now
You
the
can do
question is,
like
should you pay the
coupons and all their
495?
stuff.
Should you do the 495 or should you do the month or do the annual? I did the month. I still opt for the month. I like the month. Because I don't know, to me, and my wife is an accountant. You guys know that have been listening to our podcast, and you should pay for the year. It gives you
Yes.
a better discount.
It does give you a better
And I'm
discount.
like, yeah, but to me, here's the thing. I want to, and this is me being a finance guy.
Yeah.
So this is the difference between accounting and finance. Finance says if I'm not making the money to pay for my store, then that's a kicker. The other thing is finance goes, if I've already prepaid for something, and now I'm hoping to make the money back, I'm already starting in the hole. So it's a different
I don't think for the
perspective of looking
495
at it.
store it matters, but I think once you get to the next level, and I messed
You're
up because I
right,
went
because
to
the
that.
495, I think the discount, it seems to me like the discount is, if you pay by the year, I think it's like $41 or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, or it's $51 instead of $60. It's not, but not much. It's like 1 to 2 months free. It is. I can't remember, or at least when I started, that's what it was. To pay it, I was like, so I'm saving like a month? That's not a huge savings. But when you get into the bigger stores, yes, it does make a bigger difference to pay for it. But you really shouldn't be moving to the bigger stores until you've proven concept in the lower stores.
I agree.
Walmart, Target, those stores didn't start with 500,000 locations. They started with 1 and went to 2, and then maybe they doubled then.
If you're paying 495, you've done the yearly cost.
Why? What's the monthly cost? Because I'm paying it.
So if you're in a starter store, it's $495 a month. If you do it set up for a year, if you don't, it's $795. So you're saving $3 a month.
No, that's for the year term contract.
Yes.
So if you're on the starter store, now that's one thing they give you on the starter store, because it is a starter store. If you don't want to agree to a year term, you want to be able to cancel at any time, you can do $795 a month and you can then cancel. But I knew I was going to give it at least a year's run, so I signed up for the year contract. But I signed up for the month contract. If you go in there and you sign up for the $495, but then you tell them I'll pay it all up front, there at checkout you get like 1 month free or something. It's like a 10% discount, something like that. And it comes out, I mean, we'd have to look it up and have to times it out. But if I remember correctly, and it may have changed something too. But yeah, the $795 is I don't want to do a contract.
So the basic store is $21.95 for the year plan, $27.95 without. I am on the premium, which I upgraded to because I was over 4,000 items and it made sense to me. It's $59.95 a month and $74.95 a month without the plan. So you're saving $15. But the problem is I missed my error to move back to the basic store, which I was going to do. So it depends. And if I tried to move back to it now, I have to pay 6 months worth of the contract out. And then it goes to Anchor, which is $299.95, or Enterprise, which is $3,000. I don't understand the Enterprise.
I'm
Like
curious
Walmart.
as to how many
like that.
actual enterprise stores eBay actually has. Because I know there's there.
Yeah. So like with the starter, you get 250 free listings a month. Basic is 1,000.
I remember what it was.
Premium is 10,000. Anchor is 25,000. Enterprise is 100,000.
So 59, it comes out to $59.40 for the 12 months at the $495.
Yes.
But they will give you a 10% discount at checkout if you
Pay for the whole year.
If you pay for the whole year up front. So you're getting the yearly contract discount from $795 to $495. But then you pay for a whole year at once. But if you pay for a whole year at once instead of $59.40, which is what I pay, you're paying $53.46. So I was like, that's not worth it to me. That's $6. I'd rather pay it by the month. Even though I
And that,
can't cancel it because Ben said if you cancel, that is one thing you need to know. If you got, I don't think they offer that in any of the other store levels. I think it's only the starter level that they offer that $7.95 cancel anytime plan. I think once you're in one of the bigger stores, you can't do that. I think it's
oh, if I
all.
cancel, I have to pay. I have to pay for the
Yeah,
year.
but go back and see now. If you wanted to, if somebody wanted to do it, I don't think they offer like the $7.95 option is month to month. I don't think they offer a month to month option in any of the other store levels. I think it's only on that starter store.
No, I pay month to month. I pay
I,
$5.95,
I know, I
$59.90.
know you pay month to month just like I do, but you're on a year contract.
Yeah, no.
I don't think they offer a month to month contract on any of the other levels though.
Oh, you mean if you pay it all at once, you get a deal?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. So the $7.95 deal
Right.
is a month to month contract. It's not you can cancel anytime. You can cancel like you can do it for 3 months and cancel.
Exactly. So in basic,
7
it's $6 cheaper. $6 cheaper if you do a year plan. If you don't, it's $27.95. You can
Okay,
quit at any
so
time.
they do have that. You can quit
Yeah.
anytime plan.
For
Okay,
the premium, the same thing. It's $75 or $60. Anchor and Enterprise is not. It's a year plan, period.
I was like at some point I think that goes away. Of course, you and I are not worried about Anchor Enterprise, folks. If you are an Anchor Enterprise or thinking about being an Anchor Enterprise store,
Yeah.
there's probably
Good
some
for
much
you.
better, great, good, awesome for you. But there's probably some much better podcasts you want to be listening to.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah. So for the starter store, the final value fees are a little higher
I'm
than
trying to
for
talk
the
Ben's into
basic or
being
the
an
premium.
enterprise store tomorrow. I've been
Yeah.
begging him like Ben's.
Yeah. I'm going to spend
You should
300
go be
bucks. And
you should go be an enterprise store.
once I get over 10,000 items, I'll do it. But that's going to be a while.
That if you went home, that could be in 2 months.
No, I agree. So when I eventually do move home, I'm going to do the AI listing where you get 1,000 a month. My goal is to do that for 8 months, get to 8,000 items, and then after I get to 8,000 items,
And see,
I
I think you
will.
should do what I'm talking about. Not to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but I think you should do what we talked about on one of our last podcasts. That you should go get your hats or get something. You bought a bunch of
Yes.
hats recently. Go get all your hats, create another
And
one,
list them.
and list them all, and use one of the AI platforms and let us know what you think about the AI platform.
I
Worst
might
come
do
to
that.
push come to shove, you back. But anyway, what do you need to know to list on eBay? We go back and watch our tools. One, you definitely need to do that. But now I will say this: what was his name? Oh gosh,
Ichabod Crane.
no, the guy that I watched because we did one on tools. It's a very good one.
J-Ride Flips. J-Ride Flips.
Yeah, J Rod
He's
Flips.
got a great one. Yeah, it's better
Yeah,
than
J.
ours.
He's got a great one, but here's what makes his better. So he and I have the same exact thermal printer, which is awesome. But I paid $100 for mine. He paid like $10 for his.
Yeah.
Because he actually said, okay, if we're resellers, and this is what I did like about him. So he said, if we're resellers and sourcing is the key to reselling, we should be able to source everything we need. And he's right.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I don't want to have to drive around and try to find a thermal printer. I'm just going to go buy one.
Exactly.
But I did spend $90 more than him. Hey, my hat's off to him.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. It makes great sense. But so there are certain things. So one of the things you need to do is you need the tools. You need to watch a couple tools programs, figure out what tools you're going to get, and get those. So that's out of the way. Next thing, you need to pick a store level.
Yeah. So create your store account. Figure out what account you're going to be. I say start with the $4.95 to see if you like it. I say don't do the free one because it doesn't translate over. You'll have to re-enter everything. You run down that thing. I started with the $21.95 because I knew I was all in.
Hey, that worked out for him. I started with the personal one. The only advantage I had with the personal one was I didn't have to do the whole weight thing he had to do. I didn't have.
Yes, that
you
is a
know,
good thing.
I was able to go because I did it for 2 months on the personal, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and switch over because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I did it.
Because we were talking, I'm like, we'll go in the back and you can send coupons. You can do this. You can do these things. You can look at all your data. He had no data.
Right.
So-
And I actually started in August, late August, like August 22nd or something there of what, 2023, 20, something like that. Anyway, we go back.
Yeah.
We'd have to
I
go
started in 21. You started a year later. So 22, probably. 22?
back. No, I think it's 23.
Yeah, I think a year and a half later.
It was when you came up here.
Yeah, I went there for FlipCon, which they don't have anymore. That was 23. Yeah.
So yeah, 23. But my store renews in November. So August, September, October. So I went 2.5 months. I was like, okay, I'm going to do the store. Because he showed me, like, we did a thing, share screen or whatever. Something like we're doing right now with you folks. He showed me, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What? Huh? What's that? Back up. Whoa.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, you don't have this? And I was like, no.
Yeah. For $5 a month, the back office is 100% worth it. Just to start out. And then you can move up once you get to.
Just know that if you start out that fashion, you're gonna have a little hold on your items. You're only gonna be able to list so many at a time. You can't go in there. So if
you go crazy.
So if here's the thing, start your store 1 month. Plan to buy your AI listing if you're gonna do that the next month, because it's gonna be a waste of your money with the AI listing tool services. Any of them, I don't care which one.
Yeah.
Any of them for your first month, because if you start off with that store, your first month. Whatever store level you want to start off with. I don't care if it's enterprise. If you start off with that right there on the bat, they're gonna have a hold on you. They're gonna let you list so many items. They're not gonna let you list so fast. So it's a waste for the 30 days. Because I think it is 30 days that you have a slowdown. There's a ramp up period, as they call it. Now, if you want to start personal store and have to relist everything, that's fine. It's a way of learning it. It teaches you.
If you don't want to spend any money, you just want to try it, then go for it.
But just know that you're going to have to, unless they have improved it in 3 years, which they could have.
Yeah.
That's maybe one thing we need to try to figure out, Benz. We can try to figure that out for them by asking around or whatever. If you guys are brand new and have dealt with this, let us know so we can update, please. But when I started, there was a ramp up period. I didn't have that with going from the personal store over. I just had to basically take everything off over here and relist it over here.
Yeah, with the premium subscription, I get 10,000 fixed price listings. I get an additional 500 free auctions, which I never use. But I also have an additional fixed price listing insertion into specific, like cards and collectibles, 50,000. So I can have 60,000 items. But my monthly limits is I can have 10 million items, no more than $10 million. Now, because they just keep raising it when you do good. So I can list whatever I want as much as I want. So the other thing, I think when you set up your account, you set up your payment method. You're going to go through eBay managed payments because they don't do they used to do PayPal. It's pretty much all eBay managed payments. I say set up a bank account for this so you can segregate it right from the beginning.
Tools, yep. We talked about that in tools. So that's a good thing, and do that. So again, that's the tools. Get your tools listed out. Don't wait on these tools. Don't wait on them. And now, if you want to do like J-Rod flips and go out and look for them, that's fine. Do it. Really, like I said, he's got a great one. But don't wait. We talked about it in the tools when I waited to buy the thermal printer, and for a long
I kept trying to talk to you. I think that's the first thing to invest in because it saves you
time and money. It saves you money too because, okay, so a label. I had one laying out here. I would show it, but I don't. Okay, a label it's about almost same size as this pad. Almost same size. Yeah, right there. So about the same size. Okay, so now a piece of tape, it literally takes to tape a printed one after you cut it out on a piece of paper. And I know this because I did it for so long. The least you can get away with to tape it onto a package to ship USPS. Here's a special note. It's going to take you 3 pieces of tape.
Yeah.
They're got to be at least, you're going to want them at least 8 inches long. And then you overlap them just a tiny bit because you're down to, I was trying to save as much money as possible.
Can't do it with 2 pieces.
I quit putting 4. I started getting by with 3. 2 won't let it. And if you leave even the slightest bit untaped, some reason, I've never had this with any other carrier, but for some reason, I think USPS has like a needle that like drags down your stuff or runs over stuff or something, because it will literally rip. I got a picture from a guy one time, and I had left I was like, oh, that'll be okay. because I'd gotten off just like a millimeter. I had gotten off, not overlapping the tape.
Yeah.
It
It's ripped.
ripped nearly the whole label off of it. By the time the guy got it, the label was just like barely hanging on. They had taken a Sharpie and written the address on the box itself because the label had gotten so ripped up in USPS. Now, what they do to them once they leave our hands, I don't know, folks. But, and the box was still in decent shape, but he was like, man, they must have really hated the label. Like, it looks like it, don't it?
Yeah. So
Try
now
the
you
third
set
one.
your account and you've got it set up. So what to sell? What do you think they should start selling? I agree with you. Find stuff around your house, right? Things that sell good or collectibles, electronics,
You know me to tell
clothing,
you,
household goods.
best thing to do, guys, girls, whoever's watching, the best thing to do is go to your closet. I hate clothes, but if you wash your tool things and you got your measurements, you can do it. Go to your closet, find those clothes you've been saving for 500,000 years, still got the label on them that you're never going to get down into.
Yep.
It's never going to happen. Give up. You don't have to give up. I don't want to tell you that. You'll feel better if you make money off of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let them go. And because you can scan the label, if you'd left a tag on them, it will make you. Now, I've got some that the tag was left on that's got a red marker through, which means they were discounted at the store. For some reason, eBay can't read that. Once it throws that red line through it, it can't read that label. But if you got ones with the actual tag on it, you bought it at retail price, scan it. That'll help you. There's a little. I don't know if I can get my phone to show or not. On the eBay app. So on the eBay app, when it comes up, can you see that? Okay, yeah, you can see it. Okay, so you go here to selling. You go to list an item.
Is that an iPhone 4?
iPhone SE. Oh, gee. Right here in the, I wish I could get it closer, but it might go out, is a little thing that you mash. And it comes up like that.
Yeah,
You
and the
scan the
barcode.
barcode. It makes your life a whole lot easier. So,
All right. So now you figured out what you're going to sell, right? You pulled everything. So then
that's the
the
easy
third
thing.
thing
Go to your
is,
closet. You're going to find
yeah,
items in there you still got tags on, but you're never going to wear. That's why they still got the tags on them. Maybe you can't wear them. So what? You can replace them. Trust me. List them, sell them. That's the easy
right.
to find.
So create a listing that sells, right? That's the main thing. You got to create a listing that sells. In your title, use clear words, brand, the model, the size, the condition are all the main things you need to put in there. You need to make sure you're taking
Agree 100%.
good pictures.
Disagree 100%. Not with the good pictures. I do agree with that.
Okay.
ChatGPT. Tell them to create you a title.
Yeah. So I have a friend, Mike, who bought one of these AI listers and didn't do a good job of using it in the first month. So he spent $50 to make one listing. Now he has watched a couple videos. So go out there. If you go out there and watch, there's a few people that'll show you how to use ChatGPT to make your own lister. So he's figured out a way, and he's 70 plus years old, and he's figured out a way to use ChatGPT to write all his listings. I know, it's impressive.
Mike, I want lessons. I'll pay you to teach me.
Exactly. So he's paying for, instead of paying
look at
the
his case,
AI listers. Yeah, the AI listers are like $50 to $100 a month to use.
Case all tore up. I ain't buying a new one.
He's paid for ChatGPT for $30 a month, and then he makes all his listings in there. And he is one of those guys that he might have done like 10 listings a day on a great day manually, but now he's consistently doing 30 plus a day using ChatGPT. So you can do that.
Titles have, yes, they need to be full of knowledge because it needs to be, but they need to be catchy too. Use words. Now, here's the thing. If you're using a used item and you try to put something that refers to it as new, eBay will kick that out.
Yeah.
Can't do it. But like on a coat, I had a coat that didn't sell for 2 years. I'm like, this is a great coat. Why? I took the title over to ChatGPT. This was back in January, this past year. Took it over to ChatGPT and I was like, write me a better title. It added the word warm and cozy. or the
Yep.
words warm and cozy. I put that title over there. It sold in 10 days.
There you
I
go.
was like,
Yes.
all I had to do was put warm and cozy.
Yeah.
It
So,
sounds crazy, but
it did work.
it worked.
Yeah. So photos, bright, clear images, multiple angles. Make sure you're taking all the pictures of it. Be honest in your description. If there's any flaws, talk about them. Put
Oh
the
yeah, you
dimensions and the
better,
functionality
because
of whatever it is.
are advertised and sold as not, what's it called? Not as advertised.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't have the flaws listed, oh, eBay can really take you out behind the schoolhouse and give you a spanking.
You will and get a return whether you accept returns or not. If it's
Yeah, you
not,
get a return, returns or not. You can be fined. You can also, believe it or not, and this eBay is very, now I have not experienced this, but in their rules, if you go read it, it's very, yes, I'm one of those guys. I've read most of the rules. If you go read it, it's very explicit. If you do that and they feel like you've done it as a malicious way, which you maybe haven't, it's up to them. It's subjective. Did you know that not selling something not as advertised is actually, and mailing it to somebody is actually considered mail fraud? So they make it in their thing that they can actually turn your case over for mail fraud. Now,
you don't want to
whether
do
it
that.
would get prosecuted or not, I don't know, but I don't
Yes.
want to take any chances with that.
Chance. I agree. And the other thing, when you're making your listing, select the right category. If it's a shirt, but you put it in something else, it won't ever get seen. So make sure you're selecting the right category for eBay, so that way they show it to the right buyers.
And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find the exact right category. So the thing I advise there is go out and search another item. Search the item you're looking at.
Yep.
If it's found on eBay, which it should be, if it's found, look where several other people who are listing are placing it. Okay, so for instance, I have a compass, a nautical compass.
Yes.
It's listed under nautical compasses. Even though I would never trust it to use if I was out on the sea, because it's a gift. It's a gift compass that has Robert Frost poem written inside of it.
Yeah. So that is definitely not.
It's a decor item. And I was
Right.
listing it under decor for the longest time. And
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm not getting any views. And I had 2 of them. I've only got 1 now, because as soon as I took them over and listed them under Nautilus Compass, where everybody else that sells the exact same thing was listing them, I sold one.
Yeah, I found that with belt buckles. I sell a lot of belt buckles. I list them under men's fashion belt buckles. But there are certain ones that I list as I lost my train of thought. But advertising belt buckles or
Yeah.
advertising memorabilia.
Yeah.
And you sell quicker as that, because someone that's looking for a belt buckle for certain items, they are looking for them as a advertising thing, not as an actual belt buckle. I had a bunch of belt buckles that I ended up moving into advertising, and I started to sell them, and they sold for more money than if I was selling them as just a belt buckle. So look at where you're putting the category and do that. Look at other people that are selling the same item, what category they're using, adjust yours to theirs, or at least try it.
Some categories are not free to list in.
Yes.
There are some categories that you're like, oh, this would sell so much better in this category here. And you plug it in, and then you get down there and it says insertion fee, and over the side, you're like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to get so many free listings. No, there are certain things that you don't get free insertion into, even with your store level. They do them not. Like some of your famous, I think there's one for Elvis memorabilia. Who is it? Beard King? Is it Beard King that likes Elvis too?
Beard King, yeah.
Yeah, he and I both like Elvis. I think there's one on...
No, it's Biscuit Butt.
Biscuit Butt. Yeah, Biscuit Butt and I both like Biscuit Butt. He and I both like Elvis. Here's the thing. There is a memorabilia fans whatever thing on category on eBay, if I'm not bad mistaken. And I've got some memorabilia that I was like, I could sell this. I went to list it on there, and it was an automatic insertion fee. And I was like, nope. So my stuff's not sold, but then again, I don't care if my Elvis stuff sells or not.
Exactly. You're keeping that. You just have that on there.
I just have it on there because if
yeah,
somebody wants to pay what I'm asking for it, go ahead. Not that I'm gouging anybody because I'm not.
It's what it's worth to you. That
No,
makes sense.
well, the one item that I've got listed on there is really it's worth about what it if you were to go
Yeah,
buy
no, I
it.
agree.
It's an original item. If you were to go to buy it somewhere in a antique store, you would pay probably more than what
Yeah.
I've got it listed for. But I'm also not going to list it because all the ones that are stacking beside it, because I'm not in that one, are reprints. And this
Yeah.
is the original. I'm not going to sell it for 50, 60 bucks. I'm just not. It's not a reprint. It's the original. But anyway,
Okay. So
um,
then it leads
there
into
are
pricing
categories.
strategy.
Yeah, and then pricing strategies. And we've talked about this before on a couple of podcasts. To
Yeah.
me, the best pricing strategy is to use previous solds.
Yeah, sold listings. Determining a realistic price, what it's actually sold for. If you just look at what stuff's listed for, there's a lot of times that people list stuff insanely. So look at what it actually sells for. Then you also need to decide whether
I
best
still think
offer
insanely
or
ones are
not
more
works
like
for you.
drug
I use,
trafficking or something.
yeah,
What was that one movie we saw that was like everybody else or that one item? I can't remember. This was on one of our picker passes that we
ass,
did.
yeah.
And everybody was like selling it for $12, $15. And then you see this one guy here who's got it listed for 12 grand or something.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's always some random stuff, but those like Beanie Babies, right? Beanie Babies sell from $5 to maybe $100 for the most unique one, but you'll see one listed for $47,000. I don't understand why. I heard it is a way to launder money, but I don't know if that's true or not. But you need to decide whether you want to use best offer. I use best offer on all mine to encourage people to negotiate with me. If I have it there and they want it and they want to pay a little less, I think that's okay. Some
Yeah.
people are completely against best offer.
No, I think that's a great concept, folks. And honestly, I've got all mine on best offer.
Yeah.
I think you do because when I first started, I didn't have best offer.
Yeah.
And it was harder. And I didn't have accept return shipping. So that's another concept, but we can get into that more as we go on. But let's get back to costing, and then we can talk about this other stuff. So there's several ways you figure costing. Ben and I both are like, hey, look at solds, and try to stay somewhere like in the middle. Because if you're too expensive, you have less chance of selling. If you're too cheap, if you're on the bottom, you have less chance of selling. Believe it or not. Because it's just
Yeah.
like when you think, hey, there's something wrong with this item. It's too cheap.
Yeah. I think if you price yourself at the very bottom of the market, they're going to assume there's some flaw or something you've not disclosed that you're willing to sell it for 30% less than everybody else.
The time you should list cheaper, there'll be one of the cheaper ones, not the cheapest, but one of the cheaper ones that I found out was when you're first starting.
Yeah.
So when you're first started your store, you've got to be cheaper because you've got to have somebody who's willing to take a risk on you. But explain that in your store. Hey, I'm just starting out, so I understand that I'm selling it cheaper than everybody else because I'm trying to build honesty and integrity. People respect that. You put it on your banner at the top. It helps.
And in your pricing strategy, you need to factor in shipping and your eBay fees so you don't lose money. So understand what it's going to cost you to sell it and how much it's going to cost you to ship it if you do free shipping, or even if you just do set shipping. You're like, oh, all my shipping's $5. If someone next door to you buys it, you can do it for $4.92. But if somebody in California buys it, it's going to cost you $8. So make sure that you are factoring in shipping costs and eBay fees. So that way you don't sell your first three things and it costs you $12.
I agree. Now, what was going to come back talking about?
I have no idea.
I took us back to pricing. Some of you guys might. I wish we did do these live. Somebody could help us out with that.
Shipping and handling would probably be the next thing. We talked about shipping there a little bit, but
learn
how to print your labels through eBay.
But how do you set up your shipping policies? That's still a pain in the butt for me, folks. I've been doing this 3 years. And when I first started, eBay gave you a couple choices. Really, you picked your carrier, your preferred carrier. You picked your secondary carrier. You don't even do that anymore, really. You picked your preferred carrier, your secondary carrier, and you picked whether you would ship internationally or not. Yes or no there.
Yep.
And then you picked whether you wanted to charge full or discounted.
Yeah. So if you do the what do they call that? Dimensional shipping, but they call it something else on here. You can give back a discount or you can do the full one. I give back 25%. You save 40%. So if it's $10, you pay $6. And I charge $8.50 or $7.50
I
in
get,
LA shipping.
but
That's
it
not that.
works out. So I might only be giving 15. I need to go look at mine.
I think you're giving 15
I think I'm giving
if I
15. Yeah.
remember correctly. So
A
offers,
little too cheap.
I do think eBay is pushing us to offer free shipping. I think that's where they want it to go. So buyers love it, but you need to include that cost. So I'm going to look at that when I get back. I'm going to take everything down and
There's
redo
a
my store.
Yeah, but there's
And
a
I'm
lot
probably
of
going to do free
sellers.
shipping.
There's a lot of sellers that are not doing that in the cost. And I'm going to tell you who
Oh
those
yeah,
sellers are for the most part. Most of them, not everybody, but most are the ones that you see on eBay that are automatic free shipping, and they've
okay,
not factored in the cost. Is like your cheap manufacturers out of China. They're doing free shipping, and for a while there, they were on their own eBay thing. Now, for some reason, they're on eBay.com with all the rest of us. I think eBay is systematically doing away with all those websites. I don't know for a fact, but we can look into that and update you guys on that if we remember. But yeah, you got to figure out what you're going to ship, and then you figure out different. And now you can list multiple shipping policies. So I have one for my art, and it's factored in there, and it says art. And what it automatically does is it automatically charges a handling fee, a packaging and handling fee. Because when you're shipping art and the heavier it is, the more it's going to cost to box it up. So I have a handling fee built into, and it says shipping policy art. I have one that says a shipping policy tool 1 and tool 2 because I charge a flat rate for tools. So under if it's under 13 ounces, then I charge $2.99. I'm still losing some money there, but I charge $2.99. If it's
that makes you
over,
competitive, right?
yeah, it makes me more competitive. If it's over 13 ounces, then I charge, I think it's $4.99. And I thought about coming out with one that's like over a pound, charging $6.99 flat rate. So that's what I've been doing on my tools, and that's helped out some there. So because now you can have a shipping policy, you can have so many shipping policies, you just scroll down the line. I have a free
Exactly.
shipping one that I set up.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to determine now how you're going to go and what you want to go. When I first started, it was a lot easier to figure it out. I do think Ben's is right. I think we're getting pushed into the free shipping. I'm watching that if you just go Google something on Google, if you go search for something on eBay, so like you're internally on eBay and you click in the search and you search, I don't care, Barbie dolls. It's interesting to see that the ones that pop up at the very top are the ones who offer free shipping.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing that. I can see that in my searches.
Yeah.
You know, also with
So
shipping, make sure you pack securely to avoid damages.
just
Don't just throw it in a poly bag and throw it in the mail. You get in trouble with that.
you can.
Yeah,
And okay, so I bought stuff off of eBay, and some of the items I bought are so dirt cheap. They're so dirt cheap to the person selling them. Okay, so every time I buy an air tool, I buy caps because air tools I get don't always come with them. It's not something that comes on an air tool. I buy what's called the cap, which is a little thing that slides down on the where the air chuck goes on. When you take the air off, slide it down and then put the cap over it because I want to keep it from drying out in there. I want to keep it from getting dust and dirt and stuff inside the air chamber. The last time I bought them, I don't have to buy anymore for a while because last time I bought them, the guy shipped them just regular letter. Like he put stamps on it. And the first one got lost. It never came for 2 months. And I finally sent it. I was like, dude, I've never gotten these. I was like, do you just want to refund me my money or what do you want to do? And he was like, no, I'll send you more. Send me more. Same way. You didn't even track it. Same way. And so I get that. And I'm like, okay, thanks, dude. And I put in great feedback, a thank you or whatever. And I went and messaged him. And I was like, dude, I'm a reseller too. Why did you ship these like this? And why did you do this? And so he responded the next day. The next day, guess what I got?
yeah.
I
You
got
got
the
the items.
first one. It finally came 2 months late. So I was like, do you want me to put these back in the mail to you? And he's like, no, dude. He said, look, I'll be honest with you. Those things literally cost me like 2 cents.
Yeah.
He said, so he said, and I'm sorry. He said, but and here's the thing. For 10 of them, I paid $6.95. So
But he buys in the big cases,
yeah,
right?
he buys big cases. He gets them for 2 cents and sells them for 10 for $6.95. So he's literally got 20 cents in it, and then with his shipping. So even if it gets lost, he
Yeah,
can
50
afford to
cents
spend
for a
out
stamp.
more.
Exactly.
The big thing that I told him, I said, I wouldn't do it because here's the thing. You wouldn't know if I got it or not. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, I wouldn't do it a third time. But so that comes into how do you ship, protecting your items, ship through eBay. Don't go ship outside of eBay. And unless you're getting an item that's just so dirt cheap, you don't care. Treat it like you care. Because there have been some items that I've sold and I was like, I literally made 50 cents off of this. I've put it in the mail. If it gets lost, I could care less. I'll refund their whole money.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
So yeah, I
like,
use eBay shipping. I find that to be the best. You can use pirate ship or do it a different way. But if you do use pirate ship, make sure that you then go back and put the tracking number in the eBay so they know that you shipped it. So if you're using, I used to use pirate ship more because especially when I was shipping to Puerto Rico, it was a little cheaper than shipping through eBay. But now I don't even bother. I just do everything through eBay so it automatically updates and it knows it got shipped because I had a problem where I forgot to put the shipping tracking number in immediately. And then all of a sudden I got a bad thing saying, oh, I didn't ship it.
yeah,
eBay is probably the best way to go.
and that's the thing too, because if you look now at the rules about top rated shipper,
Yeah.
you have to ship through eBay to qualify as a top rated shipper.
Yeah.
When I first started, years even after Ben's, you didn't have to ship through eBay as long as you put in the tracking number consistently and did it through tracking. Then you could still get top rated shipper. Excuse me, folks. Now the rules are you have to ship through eBay to get the top tier rated shipping. You can still be a rated seller, but a top rated seller you have to ship through eBay. So it's the easy
Well, that's
thing to
good
do.
to know.
Just ship through eBay.
It's the easiest thing to do. So then I
Set
think
up
the next thing
shipping
would be like,
policies.
yeah, go
And
ahead.
and if you're not smart, because I'm not the smartest guy in the bunch, I had to go read how to set some up, and I still been like, Benz, how do I do this mess? What are you talking about? Because he went through it and he was like, oh, we had to do that. I think he had to do it at work or something, set up some things. He's done things because he's in logistics and stuff. So he's, oh, this is no big deal. For those of us who don't regularly ship stuff, we don't ship our pants. It's Kmart.
Ship my bag?
Hey, look, hey, you guys really need to see that. But if you've not done it, it can be a little confusing to start with. But once you set up your first one, it's easy. But I do think we're all going to free shipping soon.
Yeah.
Either that or you're just not going to ship anything at all because you're not going to sell anything because eBay's already promoting those above us.
Yep.
Who are offering free
With
shipping.
free shipping. I agree. So I think the next thing is customer service. Make sure you respond quickly to messages.
Well, let's define messages. It's business.
Questions.
No, I'm not.
All right.
I'm not. I'm out. I used to. I get a question. Oh my gosh. I run down and I'd pull the item out and I'd run over to my table and I'd lay it out and I'd get the measurement just exactly the way I want it. And I'd take the picture and I'd send it over to them and I'd add it to my listing and I'd wait and go, okay, boy. And then they'd never respond. And it would never sell.
Depends on the message, but I find if someone asks you a message, they're interested in your item. Now, if someone asks you 14 messages, block that person because it's going to be a problem. Depends on the message. You can tell when it's a message about, hey, I'm confused, or hey, you have this wrong and I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to get it for free. That is, you'll run across that where people will ask you a pointed question that you know that they're asking for you to say the wrong thing. So that way they buy it and then go, not as described. I get to keep it. I don't have to send it back to you. It's mine. So I think there is different questions.
Yep. And I get to keep it and not send it back to you. And you have to give me the money back.
But that runs into handle returns professionally. eBay 97% of the time sides with the buyer. Just understand that. Unless they've done something egregious. But for the most part, understand that when it comes down to it, they're going to side with the buyer because that's their customer that you're servicing and they want to keep that customer.
And they don't see
So
you as a customer. Even though you're
they
paying
do.
them, all the billions of
They
dollars
do,
are
but
coming from the
they're going to side with the
sellers.
customer
They're going to
97%
side
of
with
the
the
time.
buyer all the
And maintain good feedback. So boost your visibility and trustworthiness. The better you get. And I agree. I think you need to get to 50 feedback before people trust you. And you're going to get the random weird stuff in the beginning. And you hear all these things about getting scammed and all this stuff. It's not true. It's not as much to worry about as when I first started, I was expecting people to try to take advantage of me. I think once you start getting some feedback, you're all right. You'll quit getting weird
I
stuff.
haven't got now. I have spotted some of them from a mile away.
Yeah.
And I think if you go watch some of our previous podcasts, you'll see where we talk about some of the more frequent scams. But if you keep your head about you and you're like, wait a minute, something stinks here. And a lot of times it will start with messaging. And a lot of times it'll start with, hey, could you just meet me somewhere for this?
Exactly.
I'll live
That's
there.
where you
Or hey,
move on.
could I send you a money order? Because believe it or not, eBay will still let you do money order sales.
Yeah.
I would not do it now.
When I first started, I had a little statue of I bought it at a what do you call it? Not a yard sale, but where you go to people's
market?
house. No,
Sale.
estate sale. I bought it at an estate sale. It was a little statue about 8 inches tall. It was a block wall with a baby's head on behind it, and it was worth like $1,000. And I bought it for $10. So I had it listed for $1,000, and somebody hit me up and was like, "Hey, why don't we do this off of eBay? So that way you can keep all your money and all this, that, and the other." And that's when
Yeah.
I was new. I'm like, no, I can't do it off eBay, whatever. Ended up selling that for $500 because somebody made me an offer. And I'm like, I had $10 in it, so I'll take $500. But it was all on the up and up. But if you have high dollar items and you're new, that's when I think you'll get weird offers that ask you to go off eBay or do something.
Oh, it's
else.
not too. And and here's the thing, it don't happen as often as you think or as you're told to think.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you look at
you get the guy too, like I got the absolute moron. I wouldn't take his deal. He offered me a deal like 90% off. And I declined it because it's stupid. So he does it on another item. I declined it. Then he goes and and this is why you should have more items, folks, because that time I only had 70 items or something like that. He went and offered $1 on every stinking item in my store. I should have taken it because the shipping charges alone would have eaten him alive.
Exactly. You should have took that.
It all. And I should have shipped him all 70 because a lot of it was women's clothes. And I should have shipped, and then I could have got rid of them. I'm trying to get rid of them.
$7 a piece for shipping, put it all in one box and pay $10 or $50 to ship it all. I told you to take it at the time. You were like, nah.
I denied everyone. I think I'd already denied it by the time you were like, no, dude.
You should have took it.
You should have took it. And I was like, but he wasn't trying to scam me. He was trying to be a butt. He was trying to scam me. Because I had back at the time or something, and he was just trying to be a butt. He was just trying to get something out of me. And another thing, too, the others talking about scams, it happens from time to time. And again, if you're smart, you realize, hey, this is what's going on, and you just stay away from it. Anytime somebody says, hey, can we do something off of eBay, don't do it.
Walk away. Because you'll lose your account.
It says, hey, can you take this off listing? And no. Anything like that, yeah, you will lose your account. And what's funny is sometimes it's eBay people paid. I've learned that sometimes it's paid eBay people doing these things to you. And the best thing is just say eBay rules doesn't allow it to happen. And they'll leave you on. But it's kind of like phishing emails.
Yeah.
And it does happen a lot when you're newer, a lot more than that, and you have low feedback and all that, like you want to get to it. But you watch out for them, and you just don't fall victim to them, because you can see a lot of them. You can see them if you just pay attention.
Yeah. So I think
what was the one I got? I got that one time. Can you do better on shipping? If you just ship it, and they were trying to convince me to waive the shipping fee.
Yeah, don't do that.
And still ship it to them. And I'm like, no, because here's the thing. If you do that, they can simply say, I never received it. They get all their money back. You're out the item. You're crapped on. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. So understand your fees, right? Final value fees run from 10 to 15% of the total sale, including shipping. Understand that.
Including ship taxes, the whole 9 yards.
Everything. Exactly. Listing fees, if you are just a small store, if you exceed that 250 items, if you don't have a store or you're a small store, you exceed that 250 listings per month, you're going to start paying that 30 cents insertions fee on every item, right?
Yeah, but what is it? It's 300 items is really where you start to go, wait a minute.
Yeah, at 300 items, it costs you're worth going up to the $21. Until then, you just need to look at that, make sure you're not paying more fees than if you didn't. 300 items, it costs you the same as a store that's 1,000 items. So just be cognizant
Of course,
that
there's
stuff.
one guy that I was watching on YouTube that literally, he's got the starter store like I do, but he changes his 250 items.
Yeah.
Like he takes them all down and redoes them. He's got some type of AI platform that he redoes it and relists them totally 250 different items unless something's selling and he's got more of it, then he makes sure that item goes back on. But he said something about it. I was like, dude,
That seems like a lot of work.
Too much work for me.
I mean, I saw another guy that does the $4.95 store, but he does 5 of them, which costs him $25 a month, which gives you 1,250 listings instead of the 1,000 that would be on the other store that costs you $21.95 a month. But you got to run 5 stores. It just seems like a hassle.
That's a lot.
So, yeah.
But
and once you get a store, you get tools and features that you don't have. Like you get the eBay Seller Hub, which is a central dashboard for performance, orders, and analytics. That definitely is a plus. You also get time away in case you move to Savannah and you still have your stuff in Tampa, right? Or it's great if you have travel or you want to go and take up to 15 days off. You can still sell your items. More than 15 days, your items are hidden. You get the Terapeak Research, which is a free tool on Seller Hub that lets you look at prices and trends up to 3 years back, right? That you don't get with the free store. And you get the Promotion Manager. You run sales or coupons and stuff for repeat buyers.
What's the one thing we've not talked about that we should talk about? The one thing I think we've not talked about is at the beginning of your store and in any time during the operation of your store, you can limit buyers.
Yes.
In other words, you can say, I don't want to sell to anybody below such and such feedback.
Yeah, I don't understand that one, though.
I don't get it either. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you're just now starting, do not do that. Don't do that, because here's the thing. Very few people who have a great ranking and great feedback, we're talking thousands of feedback, are going to buy from you because they don't trust you yet. So the people that are going to help you get to that 50, that magic number 50 we keep talking about, the most of them that are going to help you are going to be the people who are in the same boat you are. They just started. Maybe they just came on and they're started their buying account and they're buying. But some people do limit, and you have that option.
I don't think that makes sense, because
I've never had a problem with
somebody
new.
Googles that item and you happen to come up on a Google search. They're not an eBay. They don't buy on eBay, but that's what I want. They go to eBay. They have to make an account, and they have zero feedback, and they want to buy your item. I don't think having zero feedback makes them a bad customer. I think it's just the way it works. So I agree. You shouldn't limit people that anybody less than 1,000 you don't sell to. Otherwise, you're limiting.
Well, I think it goes all the way down to like 100 now, but like 100 is like the lowest I think you can set, or it used to be. We can need this. A lot of things we could look into from this one. It's been a really good show, but I've never looked at wanting to keep somebody because of their ranking. Now I said when we first started, I don't understand why you would ever ban a buyer. Why would you ever kick anybody out of store? Well, I can tell you right now.
I have banned a few.
If you try to scam me, I will ban you. So in other words, those scams I was telling you about, or if you pester me to death with questions about one item in particular, any item, and you send me 14 different questions and you want me, and then you're like,
I agree.
And then 2 weeks ago, I did ban one guy because he asked me a question on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you got time for that.
That's great. At 11, He sent the question again. That's great. At 2:00, he typed in all caps, hello. At 4, he typed, are you going to answer my question or not? I pulled up my phone the 4th time and I said, you know what? I'm not. And I hit ban, and he went on my banned list. Because here's the thing, I call it my butthole list. If you're a butthole, I don't sell to you. That's my preference. And there's multiple ways to be a butthole. But if you are one, you're going on my ban list.
That makes sense.
I don't care what your ranking is. You can $5,000 or 5,000 and have 100% positive feedback. If you're a butt, you're going on my ban list like a butt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those are the two things I think we hadn't talked about, was limiting who can buy from you and in banning. When should you ban somebody? You should ban somebody if it's an obviously looks like a scam to you, smells like a scam. They're asking you to sell off of eBay. Ban them. Get them off.
Agree.
Get them so they can't come back to you. Can you report them? You can, but does it? Here's the simple truth: is I don't know whether that works or not.
Yeah.
You just need to make sure you keep your nose clean. Don't break any rules, because they'll kick you off.
And then once you get everything rolling and you're doing good, consider scaling up. Consider opening an eBay store. Go from the starter to the basic, the premium. Depending on what you would do, it has lower fees. You have more control of your branding. Like, you can do more things with the actual account, and you can make custom categories, and the newsletter, which I've never done the newsletter, but I've talked to people that do a newsletter.
I'm in the starter, and I can do custom categories.
Mm-hmm. The newsletter, there's people out there I know that do the newsletter that make a lot of money off the newsletter. I haven't really looked at that. It sends it out to everybody that's bought from you before. Build repeat business. It gives you good communication with them, and consistently you're reaching out to them and they remember who you are. Also look at what you're selling over time. I think start out selling whatever you have and whatever you can get, but at some point you need to start looking at a minimum sale price, whether it's bundling up to a $20 sale price or trying to get to that, because what kills you is you're selling something for $5 and there's $6 worth of shipping. Now you have an $11 sale that you're paying all those fees on. If you had a $20 item and there was $6 for shipping, the amount of fees goes down consistently around what it costs you to ship. You make more money. Those are the few little things we can tell you, just low level. Hey, if you want to sell on eBay, this is what we're thinking. Anything else you can think of?
Only other thing I would say is you'll hear a lot about niching down. Do a lot of research on that before you decide, because I started moving in that direction and I started losing money. I was making more money by not niching down. Ben's has niched several times, and I don't think you niche down to one item. My personal thing is you niche down to multiple.
And I think that's the way to go with it.
I do agree, but I disagree at the same time. So I would say when you're first starting out, ignore the whole niching down thing. Ignore it.
Unless you have a bunch of one thing, and that's what you know. All you know about is Hummels, and you got a bunch of Hummels, and you can find Hummels cheap. Do the Hummels, right? Do your thing. But what I find is having multiple items gives you an opportunity to sell to multiple types of people. I think niching down, like I sell a lot of belt buckles, I sell a lot of hats, those things, and tools that I have, and car parts. Those are the things I'm really niched into. But if you find something that you can buy for $1 and it sells for $50, it doesn't matter if it's in that niche, as long as it's a good price and you can get it shipped out. I'm not a niche seller. A niche, I don't know, they say it a couple different ways. Niche, nice niche. I don't know. That's going to be something funny, but I'll let it go.
Folks, it's been long enough. We
wasted enough of your time.
We need to,
and this is just a general thing, right? We're just like, hey,
talking about his niches.
Yeah, I asked my niche one time, and it turns out that my niece was very ignorant on what to sell. So don't ask your niece, because she doesn't know what the hell's going on.
What do you say?
Niece. Yeah, she was not very intelligent.
Oh, folks,
I'm trying to be funny.
A niche to a niche.
You hold your head.
Folks, we appreciate you. I think we beat this dead horse to death, folks. The biggest thing you can do is just get started. If you want to
Get
do this,
started,
just
go
get
out there,
started.
look at a different thing, set up your store, and just try it. I think spending $4.95 a month or $7.95 a month because you don't want to sign up for the year. I think if you're going to try anything, try it for a year. And you say $3 a month, you basically get half the months for free. Worst case scenario, it would cost you what? So 12, 50, $60 to set up a store. I think that's the way to go.
Get you a partner too that you can talk to a lot, who's also selling, but they're selling more than you, so you can hear their chime on their phone all the time. It used to be every time I would call Ben's, he'd be like, "You've got to call me tomorrow," because I would call him.
Because it cha-chings every time
It
you
would
go.
ching every time I called, just so he could show me that he's outselling me like crazy. Anyway, but I think the last thing we need to talk about, and we're not going to spend too much time on it because we're already way over what we planned for you guys to listen to, but the last thing you need to do is you need to plug into this community. Even though I haven't been to any of the meetups.
You haven't been to a single meetup? I even hosted a meetup. Your ass didn't come. It wasn't that far away. I haven't been to a single one, but I already have friends in this community between Beard King Pigger, Biscuit Butt, Mike, Ben's. There's several guys that I already know, and we have talked. Now, Mike and I don't talk regularly, but we again. So you need to plug in. Now, could I plug in more? Probably, if I could get work schedule, but whatever. It works out. I understand why you don't come, but I do agree that, you know what, if there's a meetup in your area or you can go check it out, once you start doing this and you're super excited about buying stuff for a dime and selling it for $10, your family will think that's great 3 times. After that, they'll be like, just leave me alone. I don't want to hear about this crap no more. You got to find somebody that you can bounce these off of.
It's amazing, though. They will bring their crap to your house.
Oh,
once they learn you sell junk, they will clean out their houses and now the price you pay for that is you have to haul a bunch of stuff off because a bunch of their crap just won't sell. But some of their crap will sell, and you get them for free. It's the only reason you tell your friends and relatives that you're a reseller.
But tell everybody, because you'd be surprised how many people will give you stuff that just, hey, man, I was going to take this to Goodwill. You want it? And you'll get some really good stuff or crap. But the 3%
you get for free
make you some money.
Will make you some money.
All right. Hey, man, thank you for hanging out with me, Joel. And thank you, everybody that listened to this podcast about what do you need to know to start on eBay. Just start. That's what you need to know. Just try it. It is a great hobby to do to make a little bit of side money, and it doesn't take a whole lot of work. It's not, though, passive, because there's some of those people you listen to, oh, I make $10,000 a month on eBay and I don't do anything.
Yeah, passive.
They're full of crap. It is a lot of work.
Full of crap.
It is a hobby. It is a full-time side gig that you have to do some stuff. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful, and you have to really pay attention. And the more you do it, you learn things that are good.
To have it passive and actually make money, you'd have to have a little bit of everything and a lot of it. You'd have to have a whole warehouse. We're talking 25,000 items.
Yeah, to be passive. Not passive because you still have to list 25,000 items.
You had to do it one time at least, and then you have to ship it. So there's no way you're going to be. But
it's not a passive income, but it is I think it's a fun side hustle. It's something I enjoy. I talked him into enjoying.
That you'd make go to pay somebody to ship it for you so you could be
There you go. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you next week.